Hello and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. I'm Heath. I've got a short review for the movie Two Witches for you guys. This hits Blu-ray from Arrow Video in the United States on October 18th, I believe. Probably one day earlier than that in the UK. So this is a new movie from a first-time feature director, Peter Sigaridis. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And horror is difficult to talk about. First of all, we're going to be doing horror reviews all throughout October, just like this one. Horror spotlights, horror reviews. So go ahead and thumbs up this video, like this video, subscribe so you never miss one of these reviews. I don't want anybody to miss what we're doing this October. If you're not into horror, don't leave, because we're not going to go exclusively horror, but it is October and we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun with it. So subscribe so you don't miss anything. All right, so horror is subjective because now we have gatekeepers that say, well, that wasn't scary, so it's not horror. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. Just something either works for you or it doesn't. And horror is a subjective beast because does it get under your skin? Does it disturb you? If it's taking the subject matter too seriously and you think it's funny, that's kind of where I may be coming from here. So this is a movie in a couple of chapters. Chapter 1 is about one witch. Chapter 2 is about another witch. And then there's an epilogue. And it's, for me, the subject matter is kind of silly, but it's played so seriously, and I'm not sure. My read on it is that the movie's taking it seriously. The special features, they seem to be taking it fairly seriously. Also, so many jump scares. I mean, like 24 jump scares. You take the jump scares out of this movie, there's some tension there, but the jump scares are substituting for some legitimate tension built by the story. Performances are kind of all over the place. Everyone here is young, and it's not necessarily a problem, but it's what you need to know going in. So if you're in your 20s and you're watching this, probably no problem for you. But the director, I believe, is in his 20s. A lot of the cast is young, and it just translates to this, like, there's not a lot of experience, right? I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. But it is very visually stimulating. They're marketing this movie as sort of a Euro callback. They specifically, here, I'm going to hold this up. I'll flip it around. You can freeze that and read it on your own time. They say it harkens back to the gory thrills and scares of classic Euro horrors such as Suspiria, Shock, and The Beyond. And listen, you're naming these movies. That's high praise, my friend. I don't think that's good for this movie to compare it to these. Don't compare your movie to Suspiria. And I know the director didn't do this. That's marketing from Arrow. But it doesn't really go there. So they're talking about the saturation of the colors, how it's got this Euro horror feel. Maybe a little bit. It's shot digitally, right? So it's kind of hard to get any sort of a retro 70s, 80s horror thing from a digitally shot production. But, it's okay. I just didn't connect with it. And that's the honest take, is I just didn't connect with it. This one wasn't for me. There are things I can recognize about it that I can kind of appreciate about it. But at the end of the day, it's not really my kind of a horror movie. It doesn't really do the things that I need from a horror. If it had taken itself a little less seriously, that's one thing. But again, this is all perception, right? And you guys know what you like. So if you like a more gritty, it's super violent, it's super bloody. And the themes are very dark. Now, I find dark funny. That's the thing. I think the darker it gets, the funnier it is. And that's when I tell people that Joker is a satire and that it's very funny. They're like, what? No, it's perception, right? Your perception is going to impact how you view this movie. So I'm just going to give you, so that's the facts, right? That's what you get. The disc has some pretty good stuff on it. It's got two different part making of documentary. It's got 2 audio commentaries, one by the director, cinematographer, and editor. By the way, one guy did so much of this movie. And it does have a look. It's got a very distinct look. And I think he worked in, camera stuff, and that's the background, as he comes from the way a movie looks. I wish, the room for growth is that there's room for the script. For that, the script could be a little more polished in the future, but it's a first movie. There's a lot of room for, there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. I'm also going to say this, and this is not a spoiler either, but if you don't want to know anything, skip ahead for a few minutes. This feels like a movie, again, the director's in his 20s. There's like a post-credit sequence that's like 4 minutes long. It feels like Paranormal Activity and maybe the Marvel approach to a certain style of filmmaking where, everything doesn't need to be figured out by the end of the movie. And they're like, we'll do it in the sequel. if your movie ends with a build up for another movie, do it in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, finish your story in the movie. Don't try so hard not to spoil it for you guys. It's here. There's a lot of special features. There's a lot of there's interviews. There's behind the scenes stuff. There's commentaries. There is alternate artwork beneath the slipcover. And there is also, guess what? There's a booklet. And there is, well, here's the table of contents for the booklet too. And there is a poster of the cover art as well. Oh, hold on, that's the teaser card for Edge of Sanity. There's a poster with this art on it. So it's a fairly loaded package. If you're a horror fan, if this sounds great to you, again, I'm not trying to knock this. I'm just saying, like, I didn't connect with it like some of you guys will, because it's so subjective. So if this sounds like something that you will connect with, this is a very fine package from Arrow. Arrow doesn't have to do anything. They go, full bore on everything they do. So it's a very nice package. So I don't know, let me know if you watched the movie. Let's continue to talk about it in the comments below. I always like to say that, these videos are just the starting point for the future conversation. Let's have that conversation in the comments below. October 18th, I'll put a link to where you can pick this up in the description of this video. Let me know what you think. Guys, thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.